He's on Xbox. It says he's on Xbox.
No, that's him reinstalling his fucking stuff. Give him a second.
Oh, okay. He factory reset his Xbox. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Give him a
Doesn't
second to
know about
fucking.
that.
Is he aware that that happened?
Is he
Oh, it's
aware that
happened.
that's gonna happen?
Uh,
I didn't remember telling you about that. But no, he's not.
You did. You did. We were talking about that. My character obviously
It
does
doesn't
not
matter.
know
It's
that's
it's like
happening, so
literally the second after I've established where you guys are. That detail creeps up. If you guys want, I could show you some
alright.
more information about the actual thing because I know that Nathan actually bothered to read the book that I sent to him. So, in general,
Yeah.
the year I believe I gave to Mal because she was curious for her character sheet specifically is 770. In the world that it actually takes place in, their years are twice as long as ours, approximately, and they actually have 32-hour days. So their clocks, rather than being split into four groups of three each time, instead of having it 1, 2, 3, and 90 degrees being 3 o'clock, clocks in this world have 1, 2, 3, 4, with 4 being the 90 degrees. And then that's just the basic timetable. But it's 770 years since the beginning of proper timekeeping for what is considered the modern era. However, it's not modern, it's more of a medieval type. Currently in the situation where it is just about to begin exploding into a sort of renaissance and industrial revolution, as tinkerers and such, as Mal's character, come into being more prominent, and it is becoming more understood that explosive powder, essentially gunpowder, but they don't call it that, is becoming more of a safe sort of thing. Like it's becoming more of a science, which only happened within the last 30 years or so, which is of course like 60 of our years. So when people tell you how old they are, I'm gonna tell you how old in our years, but in theirs they call them spells because the years are divided into specific halves between when procreation would usually happen. The way that there's just a whole lot that I can explain here about like a bunch of dumb stuff. Um, Procreation used to happen specifically during one part of the year, like the end of the harvest. It was tradition that everybody would try to conceive a child during that specific period, and then anybody who was not capable of conceiving the very first time, they would be allowed to try again in the spring because it was found that having kids during those two particular times of year were the best chances for survival overall. Xbox almost finished the update. All right, he kind of already knows a lot of this, just like the basic world building type stuff.
hmm.
So the I don't have my maps with me. I packed up my notebook, which has my names of all my places on it that I wrote down, and a bunch of different people and stuff like
That's a
that. And
good
it has my
idea.
gods like listed in it, so I don't have my list of gods right now. We'll be playing with flying by the seat of my pants at the very least. But the bright side is that I know the entire thing. So the place that you guys are all going to be around, I didn't have a name written down for it. I was busy today. Let's go ahead and trying to think of a clever name for it.
Hmm. Ragnarok.
You guys are going to be in the town of Mountain's End. So, up in
Ooh,
the
nice.
northern portion of the world, separating the nation of Hantro, which is where the some dragons and most of the half dragons live. It's a very tropical sort of area. They keep it nice and warm there, even all year. When the rest of the continent enters its winter phase, it's still warm there due to the magic that they have.
So it's the fucking Bahamas.
It's basically the Bahamas. It's lovely there all year round. There's always fishing. It's very plentiful. Everybody there is really nice. However, most humans aren't usually allowed to stay there for very long. It's very inclusive, and somebody being able to stay there for more than a week at a time on like a very fancy vacation would be extremely lucky. However, all half dragons are perfectly welcome there, and especially all dragons. They're pretty much revered there because they are the elders to all of the half dragons, since dragons live thousands of years. Half dragons only live a couple hundred years, and of course humans probably live less than 100 years. There are situations where they can live longer, usually people dabbling in a lot of magic. But the place that you're at is called Mountain's End because it is the southernmost point on the mountain range. It is where the mountain range ends, and it becomes, actually, I wrote ED instead of end. It is the first traversable area for people not choosing to fly, either by dragons, pegasi, griffins, wyverns, or if you're lucky enough riding on an actual dragon, which they usually don't like people doing. But if you're good enough friends with the dragon, or you happen to be soul bonded to one, which we might get into later, the explanation for that stuff, if it happens to become involved. Any of you dragons or half dragons would know exactly what that is, and anybody who happens to be slightly versed in dragonkind would know exactly what a soul bond to a dragon and a human do. The reason that you guys are all at Mountain's End at the moment is that, for the most part, not specifically because you guys are all here, is that the end of the growing season is currently happening. It is called the post-drowning festival. Even though the drowning is something that doesn't happen anymore because the planet has undergone a transformation that no longer happens. It is the celebration of the harvest and everything like that. In addition to the fact that it is supposed to be a wealth of food and money, and it prepares everybody for the slow descent into winter. Winters aren't that strong here, but they are pretty intense for the few days that they actually happen, because winters only last 32 days. Is that? I don't have my notes in front of me. No, they last 26 days, and that's where the term a half comes from. It is the equivalent of approximately 2.5 weeks of our real world time here, and that is how things are measured in this world. Usually people, when referring to historical events, don't specifically target a singular day within a half. When keeping track of time, they just say that it happened in that particular half. And the specific days being noted is pretty uncommon still, yet it's becoming more of a regular thing as businesses are specifically trying to keep quotas and such. So it's the economy that ends up driving the fact that the calendars are becoming more accurate in recent years, within the last 100 years or so. Another thing that's becoming common within the recent years is last names. Originally, people did not have much of a need for last names. It's been common for most people to not have one and do the whole thing where it's like, I'm the son of this person who does this. And people who happen to become very well known for a trade or something like that. Originally, the lords of an area, or even people who happen to be higher up, would award you with a title, and that would be your earned name. And then anybody that you had as children would then be given that as their name to signify that at one point their family was known for that, and that is then a given name. And any child that they have who is given that name can then also turn that into an earned name by continuing the same process. Also getting into just a random bunch of world building stuff. I don't know if you guys are even interested, but while we're waiting for Nathan, I figured I'd go ahead and share like a lot of the basic structure that we have here. Fun fact, with the ability to birth 2 children within the same actual calendar year that they have, twins don't actually mean that they were born at the same like birthing session. So twins actually just refers to anybody that happens to be born within the same year. And when you're born within the same year, when referring to yourselves as twins, you would say that you are yearlings with each other. And then when you are born at the same time, you would be I forget what I had down for it. Something about womb. Like you would acknowledge the fact that you shared a womb together. And I wasn't gonna say womb mates. But if you want, we can use that. I forget what the actual term is. It's been a long time since I've actually gone through and read through a lot of the like dumb world building in the past. So yeah, essentially as a diplomat for the dragons to humans, you are in the town as part of a basic sort of like, I don't want to say publicity thing, but it's expected that for the particular celebration that you be in this town, as it's one of the more prominent ones. It shares a border with what used to be the country of Ragoria with Hantro, and they've been at peace since Hantro was actually founded. Which actually wasn't that long ago, because Ragoria was founded before Hantro. It was later awarded to dragons for assistance in solving a matter of war that happened between several of the other countries. Ragoria used to be itself. It later joined with the country of Lithum upon the creation of a council between the I can't think of the name now. The royalty between them. They joined forces and became one larger nation, and then as part of an agreement with the other countries on the continent, and with the dragons in particular, they then gave up a lot of land to then become neutral ground. So the town in particular that you're in, Mountain's End, is actually now just bordering Hantro on neutral territory, which extends up. It's a little bit of a boot shape, extending up from the very bottom of Ragalith, now the northern side of that, and then Ragalith happens to wrap down around the eastern side of it, and then the boot goes straight down for a while along the main road for the entire continent. It's all considered neutral territory, which the dragons keep track of. Anybody that happens to try to cause violent actions within the entire territory faces their wrath. It's actually just contained by them, and they don't have an actual country. They just own rights to patrol the entire thing in efforts to keep the peace between all nations, because they don't really care about the different countries that the humans have. It's not really an us versus them sort of mentality. It's more just like they're kind of dumb, so we might as well help them out as much as possible. With the boot, as soon as it starts to curve down a little bit and go over to the western side and actually touch the western edge of the continent, there is a large grouping of woods that is untraversable with anything other than just your feet. Horses have a hard time going through it. However, it's still possible. There are large creatures that still live within it that have gone extinct from other areas of the continent as they've been hunted out of existence, aside from when they exist within the woods themselves, and that's because the dragons choose to allow them to continue living there. They don't bother the dragons. Actually, the dragons hunt them. The main thing is essentially a fowler is the primary like apex predator in the area. If you guys have played Final Fantasy, just think of a chocobo. It's close enough to its actual physiological structure and stuff like that, but the evolution of it is a little bit more complicated than that. They have very interesting mating habits. And then aside from them, the other primary predator within the woods are called resin tusks. There are boars that secrete resin that happen to interact and cause softness within the barks of deadwood trees, which this is just common knowledge that basically everybody would know. The boars in particular use their tusks to dig into the trees, and some people harvest the resin off of their tusks to be able to work with this wood, which is entirely blast resistant and is incredibly strong, and regular tools you can't chop into the trees at all. Anything you hear?
Yes, I am here.
Sweet, I was giving background information.
Nice.
So we have everybody and Ninja, right? Alright, so
Mhm. I don't know. Is Badger here?
Mal, are you here?
Yeah.
I had to resist the urge to say who's Badger.
Betcha.
Okay, Dragon, I'll just share with you because you know a lot of the world
Ben,
building anyway. I'm going to describe to you where we're at.
Listen.
What?
Ben, if this is everyone, you might want to close the party,
Yeah. That'll work.
because we don't want the random people joining us.
Party invite only.
I'm trying
Dragon,
to
we're
get ready
good.
for my niece to go home.
Okay.
Kick Dragon, where are we kicking
I'm
Dragon?
joking. I'm the
Okay,
host. I'm not kicking
No.
him.
I don't even know him, but you know. I don't know. I was just.
It's all right. We can suffer through him.
Maybe Ninja.
The snow trees.
The cabbage NPC from Avatar.
Your mic is cutting out a lot. It sounds like your internet's going a little bit.
Yeah. You need to go get a new mic.
No, that was an internet issue, not his mic. If that was his mic, it would have been
Oh,
cutting out
I'm just
specifically what he was saying
saying, 'cause he
instead
always-
of just delaying it a lot. Now he's connecting. Yeah, his internet went out. All right, Dragon. So where we currently are is the town. Well, it's actually more of a city of Mountains End. It is the southernmost, essentially the landing point of the primary mountain pass that is in the northern side that separates Hantro from the neutral territory that used to be the Kingdom of Ragalith. Actually, hang on. I think I have. I know I took pictures of my maps when I drew them, and I think I sent them to. Here we go. Hang on. Let's share this to. Messenger and group chat. Okay. I sent
I don't know, baby. I'll find him.
general rough map of my initial drawing to the group chat for anybody that wants to go ahead and look at it.
Dude, nudes. Gross.
So this was just a very rudimentary drawing
that's the
that
mountain up there?
I can't draw for crap. So I that's like the very basic idea of what it should end up being. I drew one of the cities on the wrong side because I forgot that I moved it for plot purposes on a different story. So yeah, if you go ahead and
Question. We're up here in the top right corner. That island right there is where the clerics are, right? They get trained.
yeah, that's correct. That is the Isle of Purity, and that little thing that's on it is actually the Orelna Monastery.
Okay, we're kind of. That's a river, right? That's coming off the very bottom of the mountain.
I gotta redo my rivers. I drew them kind of weird. Yeah, the water flow in a couple areas doesn't quite make sense because I wanted to change the elevation on a couple spots. So essentially, your location. Hang on, let me just edit the picture and send it to you guys again. This is. That is where you guys are at, approximately. I have to redo the map. I got to get somebody to professionally draw it for me. This was just the basic idea, like putting stuff approximately where it needs to be. So that is about where Mountains End is. due to some border disputes and such, that according to the time where this map was drawn, that's actually within the kingdom of Janalis, which is that essentially that kind of square. Some of these are just lined, and they don't really distinguish that well between what's a river and what is the country itself. If you guys want, I can draw you an outline. So the river that is on, that goes from east to west and then kind of wraps up and back around towards that other little castle up on the top, that is the nation of what used to be Rigoria. And then over on the right side, divided by that massive river, what's on the right side of that is Lithum. Both of those are joined now. They're Ragralith. And then Hantro is that area in the northwest, all of those little houses and stuff, and the little ponds and things. That's the entirety of Hantro. And then the spot that is just to the southeast of that, with that big ass castle and like all those little stuff, is the it's still a castle, but it's also got a lot of ruined city around it because it used to be a more tropical. However, there was a cataclysmic event that ended up kind of turning the entire place into nothing but desert. And then
Okay.
Question. Where is... I don't want to reveal any of that information, but where I'm from.
So we're
Angel would know this.
here. I'll dot where each of you guys would have grown up or been raised, essentially. So let me go ahead and color code this. I'll do blue for Angel, red for Gandhi. What other colors do I have here?
But they said they didn't want the information being leaked.
The information regarding I'm not going to tell you because it would be spoilers. Where he came from isn't a spoiler. So that's Gandhi and Angel. Brandon would have more than likely come from approximately here. He'll be in pink. We've got green for Dragon. You would have most likely been from... let me map this out in my head. Approximately there. And then do brown for Mal. Mal would have been from there. There you guys go. So these are your primary origins. This might not have been where you were born or anything, but this is like your primary home
They all
for the
say
most
you
part.
could. But they're all rank ones, and they got flashlight saves and DSs, and I still got merciless, and they're all inviting me and messaging me and telling me I'm trash. But I got merciless and I got
watching
DS
This is why
3
we
times
left parties,
and flashlight
Ninja.
save.
Like, this is why we left the party earlier.
Yeah, we're starting D&D now.
Hey, I was
So
only
you
talking at the end of the
okay
game.
with-
I don't talk other than that. You guys were all
Valen?
quiet.
Alexa, turn TV volume
I
down.
guess I'm out of here.
All right. Sorry, it's just that focusing.
Alright, so you said I'm green?
Yes, you are green. I
Question.
don't have a city or town labeled there because this was just the most rudimentary drawing that I have, and the more detailed maps I don't have pictures of.
Wouldn't I be blue?
So-
No, because you're not a dragon.
Backstory.
Me and Duke.
There's forest area there. It's just not. That's the main forest area for all the dragons where they live.
The blues where Angel is from?
Blue is Angel. Red is Gandhi. Pink is Brandon.
Good.
And Mal is brown.
I always knew
More of a
Brandon would be
maroon.
pink.
That was just the one that I chose.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
I just wanted you guys to be as
do
established as
me
possible.
and Angel actually know each other, or do we know of each
You know of
other?
Angel. Angel does not know of you.
Nope.
Okay.
You know of Angel for a very specific reason, and I told you that reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I know anybody?
Nope.
It is possible that Some of
I
you
know Ben.
may know of Mal. Mal, how much fame was it that you were looking for to start off with?
She's well known, but she's not that known.
So she's well known within the Artisans Guild, I'm assuming?
Yes. And some people outside of it would know her because they would tell their friends.
And know by
stuff
your work.
like that.
Okay.
And people there
Friends of
kind
friends
of-
kind of thing.
The chances of you guys knowing of her are slim to none, specifically because of who you guys happen to be. Brandon is just a traveler. Dandy and Angel wouldn't give a crap about what you make. Sorry, because they're dragons and half dragons. They have better technology. And then Nathan, I would assume that you really don't care because you don't go to cities too much.
Yeah.
All right.
People from the dragons and my home area would know of me. Just like they wouldn't know of me famously, but they would know that like that's the guy that does the dirty, that does the work I do.
Like it's
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
it's like
Does
a
the
name,
dirty.
but
Yeah.
it's like a name, but no like no face to it. Like, there's a name but no face.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily
Granted, I
be
feel like they would
famous
know if
or
her father-
infamous. There
they
would
would
be a
know
lot
who
of
her
people that
father
just
was.
know of the fact that you don't really follow most ethical code or typical like social conduct of dragons or half dragons. You're that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody else want any more establishing information before we go ahead and start up with what we're currently doing? I suppose I didn't get to finish the entire thing for Dragon. You are currently in the town of Mountains End, which is the little red dot on the first picture that I sent you. Everybody is here, not specifically, aside from Angel, is not here specifically for the celebration that's happening, but it's essentially it's the end of the year harvest celebration type thing, and the esteemed guest of honor is Angel and his entourage, because he's a dragon who's essentially like blessing the harvest that people have gotten, and like it's like a stupid fertility thing where it's like you have a dragon come into town and like meet and greet everybody, and it doesn't happen everywhere. It's just primarily major
Yeah, but
cities
what?
type thing.
Why would I be that far north from my green dot?
Your mission specifically,
Like I'm out of the way.
your
Oh.
specific mission would have led you here.
Okay.
Because of where your origin would like it's not necessarily that this is where you guys came from and you came here to this place for this reason. This is your like country of origin. Like if you're talking about where your home is, you're from the middle of nowhere. Brandon is from a village near the coast that he probably would have gone to the coast and done some shady stuff there. Mal studied at the Artisan Guild and travels to sell her wares. And then, of course, Gandhi and Angel have their own reasons for just being in the general vicinity.
Okay.
Does anybody want any more establishing information? Questions?
That's
Yeah.
good.
Comments, concerns, queries?
That's good.
Okay. So right now, this is the celebration ends up going for a few days. However, only on the first day is it that the dragon is like typically present. Like people continue selling wares and stuff going on and things like that. However, this is the only day that it's expected that Angel and his entourage happen to be in town. So I'll go ahead and start off with that first of all. So Angel, you are currently waiting to go and greet the
I need
masses.
this.
Essentially what they end up doing is that everybody is off doing their own things. It's the festival, everybody's buying stuff, they're selling stuff, just there's people talking all over the place, some people falling in love. There's probably hand jobs going on in back alleys somewhere. And what you're doing is you are currently waiting in essentially the royal suite of like the higher class sort of not a tavern, but if you imagine like a really fancy hotel like the olden days, you're in like the penthouse suite and stuff like that. It's very luxurious. There's fine drapery everywhere. It's very open. The wind just kind of blows in because this is still a fairly tropical area. You're still close to where there's actually a desert going on, but it's still more of like a place of bounty. It's an oasis. And you are attended by 2 other half-dragons, whose names I'm not going to bother making up on my own unless they actually end up doing something important at some point. As an esteemed guest and...
Good story so far.
As an esteemed guest, you have been also given as part of your entourage a cleric from Orelna Monastery. And go ahead and pick up. I need my character sheets up. Sorry. So her name is Talfa.
Okay.
Orelness.
Alpha?
Talfa. You would know, based off of general knowledge, everybody would be aware of this, that anybody with the last name Orelness was actually an orphan and went to Orelna Monastery and then adopted that as their taken name to announce essentially the fact that that's where they're from. That is their life. They have dedicated themselves to being a cleric, healing people, and blessing and seeking truth in the world and making sure that justice is done properly. So she is currently with you just in case anything were to happen to you while you're here. It's a general established thing that whenever somebody of import happens to be going somewhere that is not their typical area of expertise, they have a guide and a healer along with them. So that is what she is serving you as now. For everybody else's character, while he is waiting, that's what you're starting off as doing. Mal, you are currently in the market area and you have your own booth set up. People are clamoring around and trying to buy things from you, and you are constantly being berated with questions about what you're going to be creating next, if you've experimented with any sort of explosive powder and such, and if you're going to be getting into any sort of more detailed mechanics and what kind of weaponry you like to make and stuff like that. And it's pretty overwhelming overall. However, this is something that you're pretty much accustomed to at this point, is that people just come and they talk you up about all of the different stuff that you like to make, and end up buying stuff here and there. So you're kind of bringing in a little bit of a haul while having a great time just working with everybody else. And since this is the first day, it's probably getting close to about midday, and you're looking to fairly shortly go ahead and go on like a lunch after the main event happens of Angel's character coming through and giving his entire thing. I also don't know the names of all your characters yet because I didn't study your character sheets all that hard. I just double checked that all your magic was fine. So that is what you're doing. Dragon.
Angel.
Dragon.
Cookie.
No.
Yeah.
Hello.
I forget what exactly you said that you were doing at this point. Oh yeah, you're selling potions. You're actually across the street and like 3 booths down from Mal's. You've got this this booth that you've purchased specifically. Like, this isn't your type of crowd or anything like that, but you've got your different potions. You've got them labeled and stuff like that. People come to talk to you, and you just kind of like try to hurry them along. Like, go ahead and buy the potion or whatever. Because the only reason that you're here is to make money to fund your travels, and you just want to go ahead and get your potions done and everything, and just get the heck out of the city, because all of this this clamor and everything is just not really your style. You are also looking to get some food here fairly shortly.
Okay.
Gandhi, you are currently carrying a massive boar over your shoulders. You are the epitome of what a perfect half-dragon should be at a time like this in this crazy world. You are doing the dirty work that needs to be done, and this boar is probably about twice as big as any other one that you would expect to see on a dinner table, and people are partying in the streets for you, almost as though you were the guest of honor which does make you feel a little bit weird about that because while you would love the honor, it's not really something that you're used to. But there are little boys like pointing and like tugging on their mom's shirts, like I'm gonna be that dude when I grow up. And you're going to collect your earnings from having taken down this massive swine that you were hired specifically to kill because it was going to possibly create issue for people that were traveling for the event itself. So you are currently walking through the streets and about to deliver that to where it needs to go. Brandon.
Alright.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of option here because naturally I would think that you're probably swindling some dude like just barely off the main drag.
I mean, you forgot that I'm a fortune teller. I told you that before.
Right. I mean, like you probably have. You do you want like a booth? That you're like.
The small
Okay.
one. Yeah, like like with me.
All right. So we'll say that you're probably on the same street as Dragon, a little bit further up towards the where Angel will end up approaching from, and you're doing your thing, giving people readings and stuff like that. If you want to try to steal something from somebody, that's probably perfectly okay with me. You are using your cards to the to the best of your ability and just like taking in all of the sorrow that happens to be in people. Like even though there's all of this like amazing stuff, everybody's in a great mood because all of this is going on right now. There's a lot of people that have a lot of issues at the moment, and you can kind of feel the energy radiate off of them and fuel you with the fact that some of them want to seriously die right now.
Oh my god.
Just know.
I'm just pandering, okay?
Nothing like living up a festival.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Grab my dice.
It's little boat. It's
So,
little boat.
my dice is up the side right
Yeah, I
here.
had to go get mine. I had them sitting up on my desk. So that is even more establishing. Now we'll get into what you guys are actually going to be doing. Is there anything specifically that you guys have in mind that you want to be doing at this time? The event is about to start. Angel, you probably have somebody knocking on your door right now to tell you that it's time to begin your walk and like blessing people.
Okay.
My guy's not. He's not a celebration type of guy. He's just trying to turn his bounty and go to the closest alcohol spot.
So a tavern or guild hall, whatever it is.
Okay, so you went and you turned in your bounty, and you were awarded the reward money. I'm going to say I don't have a decent comparison to give you, but based off of my exchange rate of gold coins and the Trilith coins, which are what the actual currency is, I'm going to say that he gave you 20 coins. If our currency, so it'd be 5 gold coins. So if you want to add that to your sheet, feel free. And you go ahead and you go to the closest tavern, I assume?
Yeah, he's just gonna be sipping on some alcohol and thinking of where he's gonna go next after this.
All right, cool.
Where's my
How much would the alcohol cost me, though?
If you're calculating out from silver to gold, how much is a tankard supposed to be of alcohol?
For normal D&D?
Yeah. I would need to check item list or whatever.
If it's gonna be easier, we'll just do it with like 1 gold worth of alcohol. How many cups?
So that would be like the equivalent of 4 Trilix. So let's say you've got several rounds lined up and it cost you a gold. You're like,
Okay.
I'm gonna have 4. Give them to me one at a
While you
time.
do that, Ben, I'll actually try to see if I can find one. Oh, found it. Plus.
Oh, price
yeah.
for alcohol?
Tankard. Yeah, I'm just looking at this. Tankard, pint.
He's just over there chugging 1 gold worth of alcohol.
Yeah, it's a lot though. Trying to find where.
Well, it wouldn't be actually
liquids
1
are
gold.
in
I'm
this
just
actually.
doing the
Tankers.
equivalent translation of gold to my actual
Yeah.
currency that's in the world,
just to make it easier.
approximately.
Yeah,
We're
I
just
mean,
calling a
it's a
heavy drinker,
festival,
alright?
so one alcohol, one beer
Oh.
is like.
Look, if
One gold
if
at
the
the
equivalent
festival.
of 1 gold is a cask, he bought a cask. Okay,
Then,
what's up?
ale or wine? Was
Ale.
it ale? Let's pick the better choice.
I would assume it's like a
It's
few
ale.
silver for a tankard.
Definitely not.
For a galleon.
Fucking
For a
wine.
gallon, it's 2 silver. We can
Gallon
tell
for 2 silver.
Mhm.
Okay, well,
Fuck
it's
it, we
just
bought
Charlotte
some
coins
for
anyway.
the
Yeah,
whole
he's
bar, alright?
he's gonna be.
He paid for the entire bar.
He bought everybody around. All right.
I was gonna say you're not a lightweight, are you? Drank 6
He's used to
gallons
drinking.
of alcohol.
Look, killing boars is hard work.
Was nice.
It's thirsty work. There's a nice trans girl in the bar that he's looking up right now.
Yeah, man, game hasn't even started. You have him doing all this work.
Look, I already told you guys there's hand jobs happening somewhere. There is
Yeah,
no
did say
less
that.
than 7 people getting
Did say
late
that.
somewhere in this festival right now.
For,
I don't usually come to the city.
Before
Can I
we-
go in search?
Before we move off from where
Roll me a
I'm
perception,
at,
Dragon.
should I, like, would my dude be drunk or something?
If you want to be a little bit tipsy, sure. We'll say that you got in a couple of tankards.
You know what?
Alright,
You know what? I'm
so how would that affect me going
We'll just say you're a little
forward?
bit buzzed. You're probably used to drinking quite a bit of alcohol. You're also half dragon, so your constitution, not like your constitution score,
Is
but
high.
realistic, your constitution would be a little bit higher. You've been around for a couple
Okay,
hundred
so he's
years. You know how to
basically
hold
fine
your
for
alcohol. Okay.
Alright, okay.
So Angel, an official in a long garb, comes and tells you that he's ready for you to begin your walk whenever you're ready to go ahead and go. Your 2 attendants will be walking in front of you at a slight distance just to make sure that peace is kept, and the cleric is going to be following along behind you when you're ready to start walking
Okay.
down the street. All you have to do is go downstairs and go out the front door, and it's essentially like the main drag is right in front of you, and you just go ahead and go, and there's going to be people like reaching out and stuff like that, and like asking you or like wanting to like kiss your hands and stuff like that, because they want the fertility blessing. Obviously there's people fucking somewhere. Dragon, did you roll your perception? You
I
rolled
rolled a 10.
You
Yeah.
duck behind like
Yep.
an alleyway, and you don't see anything in particular, but you do hear some moaning somewhere in the distance, like maybe at the end of the next block. But your potions are actually, let me roll real quick.
More important.
Nobody stole any of your potions while you were gone.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Angel, then.
I would turn this festival into a murder parade.
I'm just gonna go about all the expected actions.
Okay, so you-
like I'll just walk down and do all of that
All right,
lovely
so
stuff.
you're going down. There's people cheering for you and thanking you for applying blessings and stuff like that, and they're offering their blessings to you as well. You probably get about a third of the way down the main drag, and everybody, yeah, I'm not. It's very obvious. There's going to be a massive explosion that happens. It's probably going to be about another 50 or so feet down the line, and let me just go ahead and roll something here real quick. Okay, that would be that one, and let me get in opposed. Okay, that sucks. And then we got
Ripperoni.
I'm just enjoying rolling dice at this point. So there's a large crack from somewhere down over on the right side. Actually, Mal, it is like 2 booths further up the road towards Angel than you. The only thing that you end up seeing, Angel, before anybody gets a chance to react to anything, is that 5 of the people in the crowd, in between the booth that is just a little bit further up from Mal's, 5 of those people get knocked aside, down, and one of them actually gets split in half by a massive cannonball that was hidden within the back of the booth that somebody rolled forward, ignited, and then fired at you. The man that is standing, the half dragon that is standing to your right, let me roll damage here real quick. He ends up taking it to the knee because they didn't get the trajectory right. It takes out his knee, and his right leg is absolutely destroyed, and he falls to the ground in pain. If you were to glance behind you, you would notice that the cleric didn't actually get hit after it bounced, and two people after the bounce in the crowd further back behind you over on the left side, they also get hit with it, but neither of them die. The person that got split in half is absolutely dead, and two of the other are probably dead as well.
Oh.
Letting everybody know what's going on here.
Okay.
Dragon and Brandon, since you guys are both on the left side of the road, in relation to where Angel is walking straight down, you have Mal across the street from you, in between the both of you, and then probably another 30 or so feet down, even though it's not necessarily like directly open because there's a bunch of people standing in front of it. That is the tavern where Gandhi is currently at, and Gandhi will also hear the noise as well. So along,
Can I just like nonchalantly just like, yo, I'll get your potions here?
make me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
What
You roll two
disadvantage am I
D20s.
this one?
No, you roll 2 d20s and
Yes.
take the lower half. Whatever you take is like the lower. That's how you roll disadvantage.
Alright. And then persuasion. Okay, so I got a 10.
One of the dudes kind of like looks over at you, like the meme of like the guy like looking back at the other girl while his girlfriend's like pissed off. He kind of gives you that look of like, ooh, at the potions, but then he's like, oh shit, somebody's dying. Nobody buys your potions.
Oh.
So,
I really thought
so
that
the
was
booth
gonna
that
work.
is the
It's
booth
got
that
like
is
hold on
two
berries.
ahead of Mal and is about approximately 50 feet from Angel, the other half dragon, and the cleric. From that booth spring three men who were manning the cannon. They jump out and they immediately begin trying to run down the road towards Angel, and then another two people from the crowd on both sides of you, Angel, you can see start to move forward. They're wearing hoods and everything, so they're very conspicuous with everybody else like cheering and, well, most people running for their lives now. They move through the crowd that is trying to disperse, and they are coming directly for you. The three men are coming out of the booth near Mal. Everybody is, of course, running away. And then there are two people further down. One of them is on top of the tavern that Gandhi is in, and one of them is across the street from where Gandhi is. And they both have crossbows trained down the street. And I would like for everybody to roll initiative.
Question. 1 second.
Okay.
My guy would also, just for reference, he would, in the process of all this going on, be walking out with a tankard, just to see what the fuck is going on.
That sounded loud. Jesus.
Dex. Oh, the d20 right there. Okay, nice.
Okay. I'm going to roll 3.
That's a d20, right?
Yes, roll a d20, and then apply your initiative modifier.
It's your basically just add your dex modifier.
It's honestly half the
I've-
fun is having this D&D Beyond. I don't have to.
You can
solve
just
for
click on the
anything.
button, yeah, and it rolls it for you.
Yep. 11. And 11.
Okay. You're 11.
Oh my fucking god, I rolled an 8.
Was that with your
Yeah.
modifier?
Yeah,
That's
well,
with
Okay,
my
everybody
modifier.
else?
I have an 8.
14.
Cleric.
Okay.
Nathan. What did you say yours was, Nathan? 14?
14.
And then I need angels and mouse.
What modifier am I rolling?
Roll.
What modifier would I roll
roll
to
a
do that?
d20 and then add your initiative bonus. It should be up towards the top of your thing, right underneath proficiency, right next to your armor class. Your little shield
Yeah,
symbol.
Ben. It should be. I think it should be your
Your dex.
dex modifier. It should be just
Unless you
dex
have
modifier.
some kind of skill that gives you increased initiative.
Okay, so I rolled a
You
10.
rolled a what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
10.
And then you add 1 to that, so that would be 11, or did you just click on the initiative thing and it rolled it for you?
No, I add with the modifier. I rolled a 10.
Okay. You got a
Got a
10 as
10.
well?
Damn.
Yes.
Alrighty then. So let me make sure that I have this all going in the right order. Alright, so the first people to move are going to be the 3 men that jumped out of the booth. They are going to use their action. In terms of weapons, 2 of them have swords and 1 of them has a hand axe. All 3 of them are going to, since they don't know that anybody else is currently a threat, they are going to move. Do you have to have a special skill to move all 60, or can you just dash to 60?
You can dash to
Dash
60.
Okay. It's unfortunate that they went first then, because
Yeah, it's not-
one of them is going to move 30 feet up towards Angel, so he's going to be 20 feet away from you. I'm just making a note here on distance and everything on my sheet. He's going to move 30 feet up, and then he's going to throw his axe at you in the hopes that he's just going to down you once and then everybody can go home. So I'm going to roll for him to try to hit you. I assume a 6 does not beat your armor class.
Well, my armor class is different on my character sheet.
So he... I can guarantee he doesn't hit your armor class at 6.
No, he does not.
Because
No, he
default
does
default is 10.
So he,
Yeah,
standing
he does
directly
not.
in front of you, throwing it, ends up missing with his axe. Since the cleric is right behind you and he missed you, there's no way he hit the cleric anyway. The other 2 that are with him are going to move up entirely and move all 50 feet and close the gap. The one that is on your right is going to be right next to you, and the one that is more to your left is going to be closer to the other half dragon that is in front of you. So he's going to engage him while the other one tries to engage you. That is all of their turns complete. Next one is Nathan.
Alright. How far away am I?
So the men that are on top of the tavern and across from it are about 10 feet to your left, like looking out towards the street. They're about 10 feet to your left, up on the buildings. The guy that threw the axe is about 40 feet away from you down the road. And then the other 4 of them are actually right on
Okay.
top of Angel. Well, they're a little bit away, but they're basically all right
Okay.
next to Angel.
So while, like, behind my booth, I'm gonna step off to, like, you know how booth has, like, an edge and stuff. I'm gonna step over, to, like, to
You're
the
edging?
edge of the booth and, like, fire an arrow at the...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm edging. And fire an arrow at the guy on the booth.
Okay. So you're gonna fire at the guy in the tavern or the one that's on your side of the street?
The guy that you said was on the roof, like 10 feet above,
Okay.
10 feet away.
Yep, sure. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Alright. Have to figure out. I don't know how to figure out what.
Roll a
Roll for a
d20
bow.
and then add your hit DC that shows up on your sheet right next to your weapon. It'll say like +6 or something.
Oh my god, what is going on?
You
Oh
can
god.
just-
I used the
You can
website.
click on the hit DC thing if you're on D&D Beyond and it'll roll it for you.
It's a saving throw for charisma. Trying to. How do you use this thing?
Oh, I got a message.
Never used D&D Beyond.
You would pull which one you want to use.
Just to be clear, real quick, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I don't have any spells right now, right? Or do I?
You do. You have all druid spells for level 0 and 1.
Oh, okay.
So if you look on your sheet,
So it's a D20 with my dex?
it's a if you're yeah, it would be your dex. Plus if you have proficiency in it.
Okay, so I got 6. Oh.
If you're on D&D Beyond, you can click on the hit DC next to your thing where it says your actions, your weapon. If you have it equipped, you can click on your hit DC and it will roll the die for you.
See, I'm trying to find weapon. That's like the biggest thing.
Oh, if you don't have it equipped, it's going to be in your equipment. You have to click on the little square to turn it red, and then it will be in your actions. You can use it. Mal, I don't understand what your question is.
I figured it out anyway.
Wait, you don't? Brandon? What? I suppose while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and grab you guys' character sheets so that way I have them in front of me. I didn't pull them up before we started.
You already have mine.
Alright. So I'm pretty sure I get 18.
That would hit, so go ahead and roll for damage.
I'll get back to the weapon.
Everybody's thingies.
Question to verify.
I would have to
can
keep
I
myself.
just click the damage and that'll
Yes.
roll the damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what we're talking about, like where to hit it at. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Oh,
If you're on your character sheet, you can swipe left and right to your actions and shit.
Oh my god. Okay.
oh yeah, because you guys are on
Extra-
mobile.
Skills.
Yeah, I got a
Okay.
12.
You got a 12 for damage.
I'm going to I scroll over
So
to
you
actions, right?
shoot up at the guy, and you see your bolt disappear into his skull, and some blood spurts out, and he just falls back. You don't see him anymore. Dude's dead.
My god.
He's gone.
Okay. He's,
So he has
he's
a
done
crossbow
for.
too?
Yes. Yeah, Nathan has a crossbow as well.
God
will that
damn.
conclude your turn then? All right.
Yeah. That seems like a good turn.
Next up is the two dudes that are close to
killed him.
Angel. So, the ones that were closer to you to begin with that didn't have to run
Hey, my
towards you.
dudes.
Not too bad considering there's a lot of them around him. So they're gonna go ahead and go. One of them is going to move beside you, and the other one is going to move beside the half dragon that is next to you. They're both going to try to attack you with their weapons. I'm gonna roll the guy that's attacking you first, and then the guy that's attacking the other guy. Does a 14 hit your armor class? A 14
Yes.
does. Okay. Let me go ahead and roll some damage for you. But take 6 points of damage.
Well, shit.
On the bright side, you're not in saving throws yet. Since they had to move in order to get over to you, that is going to conclude their turns. Next person is Brandon.
That's a lot of fucking damage.
People are pretty squishy.
Ben, I would like to use that spell. Ben, I want to use that spell. I
All
told
right.
you earlier.
Who are you going to target for it then?
Who's the closest? Like, whoever's like, I need to have two enemies who are near each other. They're like not close to the person that we're targeting.
There are.
Are there like someone close to me?
There is the axe user that is halfway between
Like-
you and Angel. There is the bow user who is on the roof still across from the tavern. And then there is one dude.
How far away is the one on the roof?
The one on the roof is within range. He's like
Okay. I would
he's
like
like
to
20
do it
feet
to
down the road.
that guy.
You do it with that guy. Describe to me what your spell is again. What the description of it is.
1 second.
Its effect.
1 second. I'd rather just submit you like
Sure,
that
go
to
ahead.
keep it
Go ahead.
more secretive.
Okay, got it. So everybody else.
Because the best I do.
Okay, what is your save DC?
No, it's for him.
Is it not based off of your
And
spellcasting
Yeah.
ability?
it is, actually. Give me 1 second. I need to find where my spellcasting is. 10 plus my spell level. Plus my charisma, so. 10 plus.
I have all of your guys' chats pulled up so that way I can grab all your character sheets at will.
15.
It's 15?
Okay. Yeah.
That hits. So everybody else sees Brandon pull up a card in his hand towards the dude that is on top of the tavern. The card has a flash of light, and then Brandon puts it away again. And then you have
Okay.
another
I just
action.
run away. Yeah, I did like disengage from the battle. It looked like I didn't really do anything.
You're
just
gonna
ran
leave
away.
the area? Okay.
Yeah. Play like go away and like
Okay.
hide
We'll say
nearby.
that regardless of where you went, you're not considered a threat anymore.
Nice.
Because you didn't actually do
Nice.
anything to
Yeah.
make anybody mad.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I have your guys' 5 character sheets up now. Alright, next after
Yeah.
Brandon.
Oh,
Hmm?
Ben. Wait, Ben. Ben, can I also do the other thing too?
What other thing?
Like, what does that spell do? What does my spell do again?
Oh, you're, okay.
Mhm.
Hang on, let me remember.
Okay.
Did you want me to roll for that?
What? I'll roll for
Okay.
it.
Go ahead.
I'll just send you what
Yep.
I get.
What? Well, like all the secrecy going on.
Oh, this is worth it, me.
His character is, like, super
Yeah,
secretive,
but
so...
this is a
Yeah, although it's not fun to hear him do this stuff, it'll be fun once you guys get to see some more of what he does.
Okay, that's what I got. Oh
What's up?
no.
Message me the
this
roll.
is gonna be fun.
I'm about to go use the bathroom real fast.
You just
Be right back.
sounds good. Okay.
I'm not seeing that on the table.
It is number 77.
Wait, what? We're looking at a
Yeah.
different table. What table are
Number
you?
77. Isn't it? No, it's wait,
What? Link me what table you're looking at.
this one.
Oh, I'm stupid. Okay.
It's near the bottom.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
looking at the wrong thing. Do.
Like I said, number 77.
CR times 10. Are we going for you or for him?
The guy.
The guy?
I think. Let's see. Let's see. Once for turn. It actually no. Sorry, it's triggered
Triggered
around
around
me.
you. Okay. I assume it doesn't affect you.
Yes. It would
It
affect
would affect you too.
It's anyone who's around me.
Okay,
at
so
this
go ahead
moment.
and roll to avoid it.
Yes. I don't know
Um,
how to. What's this one? I need to see what this does. So I can figure out would avoid this.
You have to resist your own.
Oh,
spell.
that's why. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I got it. I know. No, it's a different thing completely. Okay. Where's my dice? I succeed.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't get
Two of the
affected by it.
people who,
But everything
two of
around
the
me
people
does.
who were trying to run away from all of the carnage fall flat on their faces and are extremely confused. And all of their shit just flies out all over the place. Like they start picking up all their coin purses and shit. After
good.
Brandon, the next person to go is Angel.
Where's my?
I cast
Where's my quote?
Healing Word on
Oh, there it is.
myself. And I rolled a 4, and my spell casting is +4, so I heal myself for 8 damage,
Okay.
which brings me back to 8 hit points.
Don't you have 9?
Okay.
I'm looking at your PDF right now. It says you have 9.
No, 1d8.
Plus your Constitution modifier.
Plus
Yeah,
my
so your max
Constitution
HP is 9. Alright, and then did you want to do anything else?
Yes. What more
You
do?
can move.
Let me look. Hold on. I want to. One of the guys is right beside me, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
they're
but you can't
attacking me.
attack him back because you already used your main action to heal.
Fuck.
Push him.
No.
You stabbed
Push
me
him out
with
of
a
the way.
knife. I push you.
I'm gonna push you out of the way.
Give me 1 second.
I'm going to say he wouldn't get an attack of opportunity because you are focusing on him, so he would be able to like hit you in the back or something.
Okay. I just had to pull up everything. I'm sorry.
It's
I disengage.
You can move up to 30 feet if you would like away from him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll disengage 30
Okay.
feet.
Straight back up the road,
We should-
or do you want to like move past him, or?
Could I go back into the castle thing or whatever?
You're far enough down the road that you wouldn't be able to make it to it, but you can close the distance by about half.
Okay.
You want to?
I'll close the distance.
So
Yeah.
You'll be moved back 30 feet then. Next up is Mal.
up there's my drink.
Oh, Mal.
She already dead.
I don't know. She might be talking to her sister or something.
Did one of the
I gotta
cannon?
go plug my phone in.
Did the cannonball hit her or some shit?
She fired it.
I was killed while we were. My ammo actually hit Mal. She was the person on the move.
She's the one that got split in half.
Oh my god.
Where are your weapons? This is her old character sheet where she still had +8 to her strength. What else does she have? What items does she have on her? What weapons? We'll come back to Mal as the last order. Not to be mean, but okay. So the archer that is across from the tavern is going to go next, and he only has one thing that he can do. He is going to fire his bow down the road, and he is going to miss. And the arrow is going to land directly behind the dude who threw the axe, who he was aiming for. And then he shakes his head and starts to reload his crossbow. Alright, next up is Gandhi.
Okay, so my guy walks out of the bar and he sees all this stuff. He drops his tankard. And what do I see? Like, who all can I see?
You see, like, as you walk out, you see people in a bustle down the road, and I'm assuming, like, you exited shortly after the explosion happened, so you definitely saw Dragon fire a crossbow up above you, and then you see the dude across the street fire his crossbow, like, down over towards the grouping that's going on, and you don't see anything else aside from that. So you see a bunch of people down the road a ways, and then the dude on the roof across from you.
Sorry,
So the
guys.
only person.
What did I
Well,
miss?
you can let Mal go now.
All right. So
Yep.
Mal,
Mal's
it is your turn to go. There is one of the dudes who was just a little bit ahead of you that fired the cannon is down the road just a ways. There's a dude opposite the tavern who just fired his crossbow for some reason at his friendly. And then there are 3 dudes. Was it 3? No, because there's 2 on. There's 2 close to Angel, and then there's 2 close to the other half dragon. Mal.
Yeah, am I rolling? Do I roll?
You have to decide what you want to do. I don't know what your weapon you have on you is. It doesn't show up on your character sheet.
A dagger. Small little
You-
handheld dagger that she carries in her waistband.
Well, you can throw it as much as you want. So there's a dude about 40 feet down the road from you towards Angel and all of the other enemies, or there is a dude just across the street and down a little ways that's on top of the roof across from the tavern.
She's gonna go after that one.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Throw the dagger.
Go ahead and roll the hit then.
She's a really good hit. Okay. I got a 20.
Natural 20.
15 plus 5.
Go ahead and roll damage then.
Okay. And hold on. I gotta figure that how to roll damage. Sorry, guys. Where do I roll damage?
Damage of a dagger.
That's 1d4 plus.
Yeah, 1d4.
What is that? Her
I believe it's her
strength?
dex
She's
modifier.
basing it off of or something?
D4 plus your dex modifier.
24 plus. Yeah, shit.
And your dex modifier is 4, so it'd be a D4 plus 4.
That would be 8,
if
correct?
if you rolled a 4.
So. Okay, hold on.
Somebody's getting Snapchats.
Mind your business.
How big is he?
Mind your business.
Don't know yet.
Well, I suppose he or she.
Where do I roll it at?
Huh?
That's the next.
Ew.
It would definitely.
Yeah, roll your
Wouldn't.
d4.
I'm trying to figure out where to roll it at.
If you have it, if
I'm
you
new
if you
to
have your
this.
character sheet open
Roll,
and it is equipped, you can click on the damage itself where it lists the damage. You can click
Mhm.
on the little box around your damage and it will attack for you and tell you how much damage you did.
Damn, I have some long arms. I'm looking at my attacks. It says unarmed strike can reach up to 5 feet. I have a long arm if I can smack someone 5 feet away.
5 feet is just another word for adjacent. It's actually
I don't think she has.
It's
her
actually just a
dagger
2.5 foot like
No, I
rubber
don't.
glove
That's
that you
what I'm trying to do right
backhand
now.
somebody with.
Manage the
It's
potion.
actually no. It's when you do an unarmed strike, what it is you found like a used condom from some of the people that were fucking during the festival, and you just backhand them with that.
Oh, yeah.
like, and the
It's not managed custom.
And then-
Go to your inventory. Scroll over to
and
equipment.
then if you were to do that, I would have to roll
It's
for
not even let me
how
scroll
much
over
damage
right
it's
now.
capable of doing.
Just swipe
Because
over.
depending on how big of a load it is, it'll do more damage when you swing it.
Not to mention, I also have a chance of doing disease damage to them. So
With what?
Hold on, guys. I
with
will
the used
Oh,
condom.
yeah,
figure it
okay,
out.
yeah. They take psychological damage too. Like, it reminds me of my father.
Your father beat you with a used
For-
condom?
Your father didn't?
Fuck?
I beat my
For
kids
right
with it all the time.
Should Ben just roll the d4 for her until she figures out how to equip it
Depending
and
on
shit?
if you're okay with that, Mal. Okay.
Please do.
I'll go ahead and roll a d4 for you. That's a 4. So, yeah, there you go. Good thing I rolled it, because you throw the knife, and it slits the dude's throat wide open, and he lets out like a little bit of a scream, but it trails
Okay.
off really high pitch, and the dude just dies. I promise I'm not trying to make this easy on you guys. It's just that you already killed 2 of them immediately. To be fair, though, they did cannon through 6 people. So then after Mal, Gandhi.
So obviously my guy walks out, and I just see the people down the street.
Well, you see the
right?
dude, like, you saw the attack that Mal did. So, I mean, you see the dude, like, shoot the crossbow down and then receive a dagger to the throat. And then you see more people dressed
Okay.
in robes, like, further down the street.
So obviously, I'm aware what Angel looks like, right?
Yeah, you know Angel. You recognize him, yeah.
And I see him dart off to the back.
Running away from the 4 dudes trying to attack him, yeah.
Because
Is
one of
his-
them hit me for 6 fucking damage.
Okay, his followers
God.
aren't engaged; they're just standing there right now, and there's 2 guys
One
right
of the
next to
dude is
him.
one of the followers of him is down on the ground bleeding out. The other one is engaging with 2 people, but there's yet to be an actual fight. One of them missed an attack, and then the cleric that was standing behind Angel is now standing by herself.
So there's those 2 guys right there, and the guy that threw the axe.
Yep,
that's
the guy
left,
that
right?
threw that.
And the guy with the cannon, but I'm not aware of the. guy
There's no
with
dude on the
right?
cannon. They fired the cannon, and then all 3 jumped out.
Okay, so it's just those 3. I'm gonna point my crossbow down that way to the people that's obviously being attacked. Does it light up?
Oh yeah, yep.
Right.
So who do you
Fire.
want to fire it at? There's a dude that is approximately 50 feet from you who appears to be unarmed at the moment, and then there are the 4 people down attacking the cleric and the half dragon.
The one that's attacking the cleric.
Okay, so you're gonna
I'm
shoot
gonna
for one of the guys
roll
on the
it,
left.
and-
Then go ahead and let me know what you get.
The fuck is that? Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay, go ahead and roll for damage, I guess. Then.
That's a 9.
Okay, yep, he's dead. You don't even have to bother rolling the other one. With your, well, 9 alone does the trick, even without the +4 and the then crit. So, yeah, he takes that to the back of the skull and hits the ground like a ton of bricks.
Okay.
So that is one of the dudes
yeah.
that would have been attacking the cleric, and there's currently a dude halfway between the group and, well, the 2 groups, and then 2 people on the half dragon and 1 person on the cleric, and then you still have your movement if you want.
I'm gonna take my bonus action to reload.
Okay. I mean, we determined that you reload to begin with. You don't need a bonus action for it.
You do.
Well, I'm just
Is
standing
it-
right there then.
It's a crossbow. You have to actually take an action to reload it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you do.
Right.
It's,
Heavy
it's a
crossbow.
crossbow. No.
Well, I was
it's a
reading up on
crossbow.
it, and it
Because
didn't say anything
I'm
specifically
looking at.
for that. Like, I was trying to find something that said you need a full action to reload it, but yeah, if you do, then go ahead and use it then.
It's a movement.
Okay,
action.
yeah, so then your movement
Not
is
full
then
action.
reload.
Just a movement.
Okay. So, okay.
I'll
yeah.
get signed out for a second, but it won't take long.
Okay.
Well, I've reloaded mine.
The half
After a
dragon is
shot.
going to go ahead and
Did-
cast a spell. Let me just decide which one he's going to cast real quick.
Hmm.
Got a message from. Is that the reloading thing?
No, there's something else. It's
Oh.
something for me.
Let me see what that is then.
Because you know my situation right now.
Is it small or medium?
If it fits me, it's a medium.
That sounds good. All right. Let me go ahead and figure out what spell I'm going to cast.
Gotta invite it back.
Yeah.
That's crazy that that was a natural 20.
All right.
Nice.
The hang on. Let me check something real quick. I have too many tabs open. I need to see your spells. Spells, manage spells, known spells. Which one is that? That one's all the way down there. Prepare that. Cast it.
Okay.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't
That's all
help
I
a
have.
whole lot.
That's good.
So the
Fuck.
Let me open back up that description real quick. Clear, get off my screen. So the half dragon who had 2 people right in front of them cast Thunder Wave and sent back the 2 people that were in front of him 10 feet, and they took some damage from it. Next up is going to be the cleric. Who do I have her character sheet right here?
Did I killed the guy that had the axe, right?
No, you said you wanted to go for one of the dudes that was going to be attacking the cleric, so you killed one of the dudes that's further. The dude with the axe is still there.
Okay. There's only 2 left?
There are 4 left, because there were 2 attacking the cleric. You killed one of them. There's the dude standing in the middle of the street, and then there was the 2 that attacked the half-dragon. He knocked them both back and did damage, but killed neither.
Oh, okay.
The
Alright.
cleric is going to go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt on the one who appears that like he is going to begin attacking her. So go ahead and roll that damage. The bolt strikes and kills him. And it appears that she specifically cast it just enough to kill the dude with without doing much extra.
Hmm.
Oh, hang on. Just a second. The next person to go is some of them. So give me a second. I gotta.
Ooh, Brandon.
Yes.
They have fibbage and game.
Okay.
Game deals.
So the next person in the turn order was the 3 that had jumped out. The one man that is between you is going to react to the fact that he was shot at. He's going to pull a dagger out, and he is going to run back towards the first person that he sees, and the closest person, since Brandon pieced out, is going to be Mal. So he's going to take his full move to get to Mal, and then he's going to try to stab her. So let me go ahead and roll to hit. He misses. So that's his turn complete.
Damn.
Then the other one that was next to the half dragon, he is going to move back up to him and try to slash at him, which hits. Does almost nothing. After those, it is the Nathan's turn.
All right. So there's nobody really around me anymore. Everybody's like off on their
Correct.
own.
Well, the
Right.
the dude that turned around and came back towards Mal, he's just across the street from you. So
Okay, so
Mal, and is so considerate and checks his messages right away.
sorry, I saw your message on Facebook that
So-
said to invite that person, so that's who I invited, and then
Yeah, well.
I was just
That's
running
fine,
damage
okay.
calculations
That's
on them
fine.
for the
My quick-
AI characters.
Just so you know, one more person is dead. It's not
The
Who's dead?
The cleric
Who
shot
died?
out a bolt at one of the dudes that was next to her, and he just died.
Okay. I feel bad for abandoning the cleric because you pointed out that I left her behind, so thanks.
So I'm gonna reload my crossbow now that I know that's a thing.
Okay.
Can I also shoot?
Well, yeah, if your
or-
movement
Yes.
is reloading it, then you can shoot it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot at the guy next to
Okay.
Mal.
Go ahead and roll the hit.
Awesome.
Alright. 17 plus 6 is
It
23.
misses.
Oh,
no,
God.
you got it. Go ahead and roll damage.
Such an evasive person. Oh.
He's actually the final boss. You guys don't know it yet.
2 plus 4 is 6.
Well, I guess we do
All right,
now.
so he's got a crossbow bolt that is now lodged in his side.
Ew.
After his turn, it is the turn.
He's still
yes,
alive.
he's still alive. So there are currently
So it was the
3
boss.
dudes left alive. Yeah,
Yes,
he's
more
got
than
174 hit points. What are you guys talking about? There's one person left that's next to half dragon. He's going to go ahead and roll to hit, and he does. And he's going to roll for damage, and he does damage. All right. Next up after those guys is Brandon.
Yeah. How much more?
So
enemies
there's
do
the
we have
dude
left?
that is inside Mal's booth, who has the crossbow in his side, and there are two dudes who look very worse for wear attacking the half dragon.
My half
Yep.
dragon, the one that's 30
Yeah, the
feet
one
in
that
front of
was
me.
your escort.
Okay, wait, Ben. What's the booth made out of?
The booth? That
Mhm.
would be like wood
Probably
and
wood.
cloth. But she's got like metal crap all around too, because she's a tinkerer. So she's got like mechanical workings and things.
Okay.
How would you say that? He summons Exodia. He has all 5
I-
cards.
Yes, I summon the all-powerful Exodia onto the field.
I have a druid character that
Where
has
is it?
nothing on him, just so that way I can double check his spells constantly.
Oh, okay. Oh, wrong one. There we go. That's why I was asking,
Brandon
but
is pulling down his pants.
wow.
Wait,
pretty
this
good.
is...
Hmm.
That's the one you're going to use?
Yes.
Uh,
Where you said there's 2 enemies inside the booth. Like you said, there's an enemy in a booth, so I want to use it where he is.
That's not damage dealing, right?
No, but it fits my like what I want to
Okay.
do.
Sure, you can do that. Did you want to do anything else?
Okay. Like all the enemies are like in the booth area kind of thing. There's not much else I can do.
With you
I'll
having
just keep a-
ducked down, the other enemies are out of sight, so you would just see the one in the booth. Because you said you
That's it's
like
really
ducked
not.
down an alleyway.
Yeah, I'm just keeping an eye out for now. I'll just keep an eye out. Just get like ready for reactions just in case someone needs like
Okay.
help.
Mal, your
If-
booth catches fire.
Oh no. No.
Not the booth.
Let me go ahead and
That's gonna be a lot of
Rolls.
tears right there.
the 2 people that were knocked prone by Brandon get up. One of them trips a little bit, but they both manage to scurry away. Alright, and then that is Brandon's done, so next is 10, so that would be Angel next.
Okay.
You're keeping track of your mana, right? Okay.
Yeah. So the only 2 people that are really in my range are the 2 people by the
The
whatchamacallit?
half dragon. Yep.
The half dragon. Yes, thank you. And who is around them really in like a 20-foot square?
So it's the half dragon has the 2 dudes right in front of him, and then another 10 feet
Okay.
behind him is the cleric. But you can target a square specifically so that way it doesn't necessarily hit. I don't know which spell you're talking about, but
Okay, could I cast entangle on the 2 bad guys that are next to my half dragon?
Yeah, you can entangle them both.
Okay. Then I want to do that.
Okay, yeah, and then if they want to move, they have to succeed a check. Yep. And then, did you want to move?
How far away is the guy that is at the Tinker's booth?
He's like 60 feet away.
I want to move towards him.
Okay. So if you
30 feet?
if you
Can
move
I do
towards
that?
him, you'll be pretty much back where you started, like next to the cleric and the half dragon.
Well, that's
Okay.
fine with me then. They can't move
All right.
anymore.
Next up is Mal.
Okay. Our booth just caught fire.
Yeah, your booth just caught fire. So if you don't exit the booth by the end of your turn, I'm gonna have you start taking fire damage.
Okay. So what? Like,
The dude is right next to you and has a bolt in his side and a dagger in his hand.
so could she just? So if she has a dagger, could she take the dagger from him since he's already dealing damage?
What do you mean?
Or does she have her dagger back?
You don't have your dagger back. You threw your dagger.
That'd be like
You can make an unarmed attack on him.
Okay.
She's
so
a-
she's
she's asking if she could like steal his dagger out of his hand.
That'd be can you do a sleight of hand like that in combat? I mean, I would let you if you want to try it.
That would be like an athletics check. Like you're smacking
No.
it
Not
out
trying
of
to
his
take it
hand
from
and
his
then
hand.
using it to. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's live. That's live.
Yeah, you want to make a
Okay.
sleight of hand check to try to take it out of his hand, I'll let you do that. But that'll be your action.
where am I going for that?
Actually, I'll say that that's your movement if you try to do that, and then you can, okay.
Okay. Where am I rolling for this app?
Roll your sleight of hand.
Where's that?
It's
At?
on your sheet.
Skills.
Yes.
Some skills.
Yep. So you go to skills. You look for it.
Ben,
And then
quick
I
question
click
real quick.
the +4.
Yes, click the +4 and it will roll for you. What's up?
Okay.
You said
It's an 8.
my level 1 spells would only cost how much mana?
Your level 1 spells cost 20, and if they're damage dealing, they're another 10. So you've expended 20 so far.
Okay. Just making sure. I thought so.
Yep. You did not hit for the sleight of hand, so
Okay.
if you want to move, I'll consider that your action. If you want to attack, I'll consider that your move. So you can do one other thing.
Could she attack and push him in the
Yeah.
fire?
If you want to, like, kick him.
Keep in mind, you're taking fire damage if you don't leave that booth.
Yes. Could she? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
leave.
Where did you want to move to?
Move towards Angel's group.
Okay. Did you all your full movement?
Does he get?
Okay. So
Yes.
Does he get an
You'll,
attack of opportunity?
technically, he has to have a specific skill in order to get an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I was just curious.
I mean, realistically, you have to move past him anyway, so I'll give him an attack of opportunity on you. Sorry. Go ahead and take 1 damage.
Okay. And how do I add the damage?
Go ahead and click where your health is, increase the number by 1, and then click the damage button, and it will reduce your health by 1.
Okay.
Alright, then after Mal, it is... the archers are dead. Gandhi.
Okay, so those two are entangled, and the guy at the booth is still alive, right?
Yep.
That's it? Okay. So I saw Angel entangle those two.
Yep.
I don't know who the fuck Mal is, and my character really doesn't give a fuck, so that's not my problem right there. He's gonna train his crossbow on one of the two guys, either. Doesn't matter. He's gonna shoot a bolt at them.
Shoot at those
I'm
guys.
gonna roll for that. Let me
Yep.
see. Yep. That's a 7.
You miss.
That's a 7.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna take my bonus action to
Alrighty
reroll.
then. Next up after Gandhi is the cleric and the half dragon. Go ahead and click on Somodius. The half dragon is going to go ahead and the cleric has a staff.
Is one of my half dragons dead?
Let me check. Let me check.
crippled.
Let me check.
Because you said he blew off his leg.
Let me. Okay. 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 Being nice, even though he's an NPC and could theoretically have been dead, we'll say that he's not quite dead, but he's bleeding out.
Okay.
So it being your half dragon and the cleric's turn, I'm gonna have the half dragon cast another spell. That is way overpowered. He's not casting that. Hang on.
Oh, did you fuck up?
No, I was like, I know this does damage. Let me go ahead and check it, and I clicked on Thunderclap. He's not doing that. That's technically a single creature. That's dumb.
That's an area of effect too, isn't it?
That's
would affect
everybody in
everyone.
100-foot range. Yeah. So he's not.
Yeah.
Gonna, he's not going to do
shit.
that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say so.
He's going to go ahead and cast Earth Tremor, and they have to roll saves.
Wait a second. Since those guys were entangled, is there anything that would that be advantage attacking them, or
You're
is
still
it
shooting at a
the same?
distance, and they were engaged to begin with, so.
All right. I just didn't know
Okay.
how that worked.
They only had 1 health anyway, so there's no point in rolling damage on them. He shakes the ground, and both of them, like their ankles break, and they fall back on their heads and crack them open. The cleric's turn, but being too far out of range to do the other one, I am going to have her cast Cure Wounds on the dragon that has fallen. And she stabilizes him. He's no longer bleeding out due to his leg, which was on impact knee bent backwards, and then upon continuing movement of the cannonball ripping it off instead. So he is now stabilized and going to need a peg leg. The next 3 is the 3 men. So the guy that is inside the burning booth is going to leap from the burning booth and continue trying to go after Mal in the hopes that he can kill you and take you with him. Does a 16 hit your armor class?
There's no
I
way
checked
it
your sheet,
doesn't.
it does. Just to go ahead and be sure. And he is going to deal 1 damage.
GG's.
1.
So now you've gone ahead and take an extra point of damage off of that one. Next after him,
So
all
much
the close
damage.
to you, taking 2 damage, I'm pretty sure. Nathan, you're next.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm next. What do you mean? Not after Mal. What about
So,
the guy that?
okay, question.
What
Dandy
about
went.
Gandhi?
If I lose
Anyway.
Candy
all of
go?
my health points, do I die?
You have to lose all of your health points
Good.
down below 0, and you enter saving throws. And then when somebody heals you, it stabilizes you. Every turn of combat, you have to make a saving throw, and if you fail 3 before you succeed at 3, you die. If you take more damage negative than you have health to begin with, you instantly die. So if you had, say, 20 health and you took 40 damage, you'd be dead.
Yep.
Right.
But if you took 19, you're into saving throws.
Nathan, you're next.
Oh, right. So, I am going to reload my crossbow for the umpteenth time. And I'm
For the
gonna shoot
22nd time.
for the third. Alright, second.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot that man in the burning.
He jumped out chasing
booth.
after Mal
In his burning boots.
and gave her a
Yeah, he
love
wants
tap with the
to.
dagger.
Alright, I shall smite him with my bow of
Alright, roll the hit.
smiting. Boop. Does a 22 hit?
No, it does not. This is the boss, remember? Yeah, it hits. Roll for damage.
Damn it.
Actually, you don't even need to roll for damage because you have a high enough bonus that it kills him anyway. So, yep, you go ahead and shove a bolt between his ears, and he goes ahead and he
Yeah, it's been
plops
smite.
over sideways. And that's everybody dead, and Mal's stuff is currently burning.
My
With
hero.
combat ended, now we're going to go ahead and let you guys
Who set Mal's stuff on
react
fire?
to whatever ends up happening. Nobody saw what happened. It just kind of
Immediately-
it just kind of like burst into flames.
Immediately,
Actually-
my character's
It
gonna
was
see this
happening.
all die down, right?
Mal, make me a perception check.
Okay. Let me figure out if I can figure
It's
out
on
what
your
that
skills.
is. Okay. By the next time we do this, I'll be able to access everything.
Just out of curiosity, can I like go over to the people I killed and take my arrows back?
Yeah.
Just
And if you want, you can pick up
Alright,
the
perfect.
crossbow bolt that was also like on the ground that the charmed.
Can I
cube
get a
fired.
20?
Can you get a 20?
awesome.
You
I rolled a 20.
You rolled a 20, or it was
Exact. Hold on. Yeah, I rolled a 20 or a 16 plus 4.
oh okay.
Not
Actually, I have a
Um,
longbow. Not even
Brandon,
a
go ahead and make me
crossbow.
a sleight of hand check.
What?
'cause-
Okay. Let's find that. Okay. 15.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mal, you remember during the fight that your booth caught fire after Brandon turned around and looked back at it.
Mm-hmm. So he lit up. Did he light it on
You just
fire?
saw that he was looking in your direction.
That's all you
when
know?
It lit.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's probably suspicious about it, right?
Yes.
A little bit. So with everybody dead, the booth is still currently on fire. If anybody wants to try to put it out before it spreads to anything else, you guys can go ahead and try to react to that. Current time, nobody is dying, and there are no more enemies left. So
I want to do something
I'll let you guys
real
react to the
fast.
fire and everything.
Immediately after this. Immediately after this, I'm gonna whistle, and my hawk's gonna fly from wherever the fuck it was at. I'm gonna use one of the spells to go into his eyes and look around. I guess I'm gonna roll a perception, right? Because I'm looking to see if anyone else is a threat in the city.
Okay,
right
sure.
now.
So you bend over, and everybody else sees a massive hawk shoot out the back of his pants and take to the sky. And then yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check.
No, he's not there. He would be like on the outskirts of the fucking city or something.
Okay, so you guys hear
In the
Ezio
city?
Auditory jump off of something real quick, and then a hawk is in the sky above
Oh
you.
my god. No. I whistle, do a specific whistle. Because
Okay.
this is how it's gonna work. When he goes into a city, the hawk doesn't come into the city with him. He's just in like a fucking tree or something on the
got it.
outskirts of the city.
We're just
Alright, yeah,
flying
so
on the
you
outskirts.
whistle and it comes,
Can I-
and you can
Yeah.
go ahead and make a perception check to see if there's anything else.
Okay.
This is in like the first 10 or so seconds, so like as soon as you've whistled, it is in flight, and you get a panning view real quick. Angel, what do you want to do?
Where the fuck is my perception?
How far away am I from her booth?
You are back over there. You're about 50 feet away.
Okay. How far can I move in one? Can I like just
yeah,
move there?
you can just
Like,
run over
do I
there.
need to
Also-
take turn?
Ben, am I
Okay.
close enough to
Yeah,
the
you're
booth
just
or no?
you're across the street
I-
and between two buildings.
Ben,
I'd
let
like
me
to
just
cast
do.
create water above it.
I was about to do the
Okay,
same thing.
you guys can go ahead and both cast create water then.
So
And
roll the summon.
the everything is pretty
Big
soggy,
theme.
but you guys managed to prevent it from catching on to anything else. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna be that guy that goes up to the lizard that had his leg blown off and ask if he wants to buy.
did you
a
say the
potion.
lizard?
Yeah, you
Oh,
said it
he's
was
a half
lizard,
dragon.
right? Or was it
He looks like a
dragon.
regular human though.
A
So
half
yeah, you
dragon,
can go ahead and
yeah.
call him lizard if you want to be racist.
Yeah, you know.
Damn.
They all make sense
Okay.
to me.
We've learned something about him now. Yeah, okay, sure. You walk up to him and like, this tonic will replace your leg. And go ahead and make me a persuasion check. Or no, make me a bluff check.
Oh my god, yes.
Deception.
Alright. Deception. Sick.
It's a charisma.
It's a 21 persuade him.
He's a little bit out of it, and he just like kind of nods his head and like takes the bottle out of your hand, and like before he passes out on the ground, he just kind of like chucks a couple of coins on the ground, and before he can even drink it, he passes out due to shock.
Thank you for your patronage.
And the cleric gives you like the look that you are the worst human in the world right now, as she's literally trying to keep him alive.
Ben, can I can come over
Uh,
and actually stabilize.
Yeah,
him
sure. Gandy,
more.
make me your check. He's stabilized. He's fine.
I know,
Seven.
but I'm at
I
like
rolled a
more.
fucking
Seven. So there's buildings.
There's building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see you see some dude like trying to like swindle some dude dying on the ground with a potion, and that's about it.
So
If you had rolled higher than a 10, you would be able to see some people fucking down a back alleyway.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Alright. I snap
Okay.
out of it.
Your bird is like, the fuck you call me for?
Wait. How much currency do we all have? Because I don't have that set.
You guys have 25 gold, which would be the equivalent of about 100 of the real world coins that you guys would be using. So we'll say that the coins that you guys actually wind up using, we'll round it to 2 silver a piece. So when you're buying stuff, I'll go in increments of 2 silver.
Okay.
So do we write
I would
2
like to
silver or
retrieve my
25
bolts.
Just,
gold?
just write 25 gold, that's fine. Because then you guys have 125 of the regular coins, which is a decent amount for regular adventurers and stuff. You're pretty well off if you're wandering around the countryside with 125 coins on you. That's a good amount of time without worrying about food or anything.
Okay.
So question, when I retrieve my bolt from the guy that I rolled a natural 20 in, is it pretty hard to dig that out of his skull?
Roll me a strength check. On the one that you like, you perfectly lodged it between his ears. Go ahead and roll me a strength check. To see how easy it is.
Would that be an athletics?
That's just a straight strength.
Okay.
So just roll and add your strength modifier.
Green. Okay, would that be a d20?
Yeah.
It's a 6.
It doesn't come back out.
Alright, well, fuck that.
It makes like a little bit like
I'll go recruit the
as
one
you go
down
to
the
pull
street.
on it, you can feel like some of the tension being relieved on one side of it, and the blood starts to pool a little bit more. But yeah, it doesn't come back out. But you do pull the one out of his
Okay.
side.
So I'll go get the one down the street.
I assume.
Okay, so
I assume you're
I'm
keeping
back
that one even
to-
though you didn't fire it. Because the
No, fuck
person
it.
who did fire it is busy trying to sell potions to a dying man.
I already grabbed the arrows. I already said I grabbed my arrows back before
Okay, fine. You
swindling
picked it
him.
up on the way over there. Did anybody else
Exactly.
have anything that they want to do as a reaction? Also, Mal, they cast water and saved your stuff, so you don't have to worry about it all burning up now.
Can I grab my dagger back?
I'll let you pick up the dagger of the guy
Where's it
that's
gone,
on
gone?
the ground, and we can call that your dagger if you want.
Okay.
Because the other one's on
Um,
top of a building.
Just,
I found.
just out of
I
Just
grabbed the
carry
dagger.
I'd
If
like
you
to-
want, I'll let you say he has an extra one, so that way you have a backup. Because one of the other dudes on the ground has got a dagger on him.
And can she ever consult the person that I forgot whose character it was, but who was looking towards the building?
Oh,
where
that
it
was
caught
Brandon's
fire?
character. Yeah, you can consult him if you want. Does anybody else want to do anything as like reactions before anything else happens?
Yeah, I just wanted to check the man with the crossbow in his head. I wanted to check his body, see if he has anything on him.
If you guys want, I can give you a breakdown of what they have on them. They have generic weapons, swords, and of course there was the axe that was thrown, daggers and such. They've got basic armor on them. If you were to go through and check all of their bodies, like you don't even have to do a check for it. I'll just tell you, none of them had like any special orders or anything on them. They were just generic dudes wearing armor, cloak, and their weapons. Strangely enough, none of them have any money on them either.
Okay, that's fine
okay.
then.
That's
I don't give no fucks on no one else. I'm gonna go
Just
make sure my one dude's
All
okay.
right. The
blown
the
off
other half
leg.
dragon asks you if you're okay. He doesn't seem to be bothered at all by the fact that you happen to run away, because his job is there to protect you. So in his mind, you coming back was a nice thing for you to do. Yeah, he's stabilized right now. The cleric is bandaging up his leg right now, so that way it doesn't wind up getting an infection while she's no longer present, because she'll probably end up continuing with you while he receives medical care while in the city, because he won't be traveling anytime soon.
Okay. I'm glad they're okay.
Yeah, as I was digging in the man's skull for my bowl, I'm just gonna look up at Angel and just say, I assume they're here for you.
Okay. So we have two conversations then that you guys have initiated. I'm gonna let them both go for a little bit before a different thing ends up happening. Okay. So we'll have the two conversations
that's fine.
going, and then if anybody wanted to do anything during those conversations, I'll let you do that, and then we'll have something else cut off everything.
yeah, I wanted to do something after the
Okay,
conversation.
so we'll have the conversation between Gandhi and Isaiah, because you guys initiated that right away, and then we'll do Mal and Brandon.
I would ignore Gandhi. And
Yeah.
that's all. I
You,
ignored
you
Gandhi.
ignore what he tries to say. Okay.
Damn.
So then we'll start up with the conversation
Okay.
with Mal and Brandon. Then, so you said you wanted to confront him.
Yes. Because he's the only person who was near the building whenever it caught fire, so of course she's gonna be like, hey.
Okay, so Brandon has put away his card that he used to help put out the fire, and while everybody else is going about their business, you approach and converse. So I'll let you guys have a conversation back and forth if you want.
Okay. So she's gonna move forward to him. Be like, hey, I seen you near the building. Can you do you know what happened? Or were you
No, I don't know what happened. I just ran away from the scene of the crime and just stayed nearby to keep an eye out, like, if anyone like needed help afterwards. I haven't really done anything except just watched.
Question, sorry. He's the one who had that card who lit up, right? Like, would she have seen that?
Yes, you saw that he had a card that he flashed,
Okay.
and then your thing caught fire.
Okay, but I seen you with the card.
But at the same
Seen
time,
you
I
with the-
just like, well, it's just cards.
Okay.
Well,
I'll be
not
looking
much.
into this. And then she walks away, not wanting anything else to do, because she goes and she starts looking for her own evidence.
Okay. Your character can't detect magic. You're physically incapable of it because you can't cast it. So
yeah.
there
Okay.
wouldn't be any.
Oops.
Like you go ahead and you look around through your booth. I won't make you roll perception. You look through your booth, but there's nothing that seems to have been mechanically inclined that caught your booth on fire. Was there anything else that
Okay.
anybody wanted to do real quick after the conversations?
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
go
wanted
up
to do
to.
something, but he can do it first.
Did you still want to go? No, you go first. Go first.
I'm just gonna walk down the street and inspect that cannon.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check on it then, or an investigation. If anybody else wants to check anything for these guys, like get any information about them as well, they can feel free to investigate whatever they want. Just let me know what you're checking for.
It's a 14.
Okay.
With a 14, you see that they had only intended on firing this once. There isn't any leftover gunpowder or anything like that. It seems like they had a false wall that they had used in the back of their booth to make it seem like the booth ended, but they just had the cannon sitting back there. So they rolled it forward, aimed it, and fired it. They didn't intend on missing, it seems. If anybody else wants to check something, let me know.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna do something. So I'm gonna go up to Mal, and I'm gonna roll for deception. I'm gonna say that her booth was on fire, and the firefighters require like compensation.
Oh my
for
god.
Putting out the fire that happened to her booth on her watch.
Not like
Now, do you
she doesn't
believe
have-
him that the firefighters have come to help? Because from what you saw, it looked like Angel tried to
There's
help.
two
Brandon, make me
people.
another sleight of hand. Unless you're fine with her not knowing that you helped.
I
Okay,
wanted
yeah.
to know I
So
was
as far as
helping.
you're concerned, Dragon is obviously full of shit because both Angel and Brandon helped put out the fire by casting Create Water.
They were clearly the firefighters. Clearly they were.
This
I
is-
don't think I mean,
See, the town has a safety system involved where if something like this breaks out, a couple of the firefighters know how to act on public safety. So,
were there even firefighters back then?
hang on, let me.
well, there was a fire, they fought
Dragon,
it, firefighter.
roll me a
There
deception
were
real quick.
diplomatic firefighters for sure, 100%.
That's what I was hoping
Dragon.
for.
Nathan, do you have advantage on deception or no?
Dragon, roll me a deception real quick.
Oh my god, I got that 20. 20 sweet.
The
That 20
the other half dragon who is currently attending to the injured one like looks over at you and is like, "Damn, they do some awesome work." And he goes ahead and for a second he forgets that he was supposed to be like assisting Angel and he was like his bodyguard and he's obviously like not part of it and he's like, "Great job, dude." And then like he shoots the thumbs up to Brandon as well.
Yay!
There you go, see?
Even
So,
though there's technically no
comic
crits
base,
on
I
skill
these guys
checks,
did good.
well, I like the idea of critting anyway. It's funny. Unless
So,
unless anybody else wants
do-
to make
do
any
I
sort
swindle
of
some coins?
check real quick, I'm gonna have something else happen. Does anybody want to do any sort of
Well,
investigation?
do I swindle some coins out of her? Like, come on, all this deception.
Well, no,
know,
because
come
it's
on.
2-player characters. I'm not gonna have you guys roll deception against each other.
What?
If you choose not to tell them something, I'm not gonna have her like use a persuasion against you and say what is your prime directive, and then if she rolls a 20, you have to tell her your life story. No, if you don't want people knowing, you're 2-player characters. I'm not gonna have you guys roll a post for that. If you're fighting each other, then you've got your attack rolls to do. But if it's just like talking and stuff like that, I'm not gonna have you guys like force each other to lie or believe each other.
Okay,
Oh.
before you move on from here, out of sight, I'm gonna take my dagger out and point it at each person. Does it light up? And just so you guys know, you can't see it light up.
Right. This is if
Okay.
See you
me
point a
telling him
dagger
whether or
at
not
me.
a dagger lights up when he points it at somebody is just meta knowledge, which I mean could have been messaged anyway, but it doesn't matter because you guys don't know what it means. Let's see. So you pointed at Angel, the half dragon, the cleric, Mal, dragon, and Brandon.
Oh God, I don't like the way he said and Brandon.
Oh,
God.
Brandon.
I
Brandon's
don't like a
dead.
dagger. I don't like a dagger being pointed at me. So we're good.
Well, I'm not gonna make it obvious. I'm just gonna
Oh.
like off to the
Okay.
side a little bit.
It does not. It does
out
not.
of sight. Okay.
Mind.
Yeah, it wouldn't even matter because even
My,
if I were to have him like roll a sleight of hand to see if you were doing anything, all you'd be able to see him do is like pull out a dagger and like swish it around in the air. So there's no point in even hiding; it's harmless. So anybody else doing anything real quick? Okay.
Not really.
No, I think that's good.
All right then. So, after you guys have had your conversations and everything, it's not like they were waiting for you to finish. I was just waiting for you to finish. The official who was in Angel's room, who you guys are seeing for the first time, he comes rushing over, and there are 4 or 5 like I'm gonna say there's 5. There's 5 heavily armed guards with like halberds and stuff like that, and they're like fully armored and everything. And they come over, and he's panting, and he apologizes for having been late on the draw. For some reason, the other knights who were supposed to be nearby and available to help, they've gone missing. He's not entirely sure what happened, but he's glad that everybody is okay. And when he says that he's glad everybody's okay, he acknowledges the fact that there is a half-dragon who has had his leg blown off, but is alive. So he apologizes on behalf of the entire city, and he immediately, like, he's stammering over himself, and he explains that he is going to ensure that an investigation is launched as to who these hooligans happen to be, and he says that they may be part of a small group of anti-dragon enthusiasts that are known to reside within larger cities. There are people who believe that dragons are a bane on the world, as typical stuff happens. People are racist. So he says that they may have been a part of a small acting group that simply wanted to kill a dragon.
Can I use insight on him to see if his true intentions?
Yeah,
were
sure.
not,
Anybody wants to
like-
roll insight, go ahead.
Like nobody's seen this guy. Like all of a sudden he pops out of nowhere and says that he's sorry for this. Like I don't believe.
Yeah,
it.
if anybody wants to roll insight on what he's
Are
saying,
you
go right
kidding?
ahead.
20.
Nat 20? Nat 20?
Nat 20.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool enough.
Yeah.
Wow. I like this website. I haven't got
Go
a bad
fuck
roll
yourself.
yet. Fuck Google.
Yeah, for everything that he's saying, you can tell that he's absolutely telling the truth. He believes that it is a small group of people, that there is a conspiracy, that there's a a group within every large city of people who just happen to hate dragons, and that's why they try to keep them fairly kept an eye on, because nobody wants to see a dragon die, because that's a whole can of worms should that end up actually happening. There would be a mass investigation led, because killing a dragon is a huge no-no amongst all officially known human settlements, and obviously amongst dragons as well. They don't tolerate that.
My character's just gonna say, "This is a nice festival you got."
Sarcastically.
Yep.
Go ahead and make me a deception check then. Are you trying to make it obvious that you're sarcastic or not?
Not obvious, but trying to make it seem like more like, why the fuck did this happen on
Okay.
your watch?
Do you want to make
That's
me a deception
the way
roll?
I'm saying it. Well, it's not really
Actually-
deceptive. I want the point to be
Actually,
across.
yeah. Thinking of that, I'm gonna make a roll instead. He doesn't understand that you were trying to be sarcastic, and he says, "Well, it used to be a nice festival. We'll get all of this sorted out, and we'll have the rest of the ceremonies and everything, and it'll continue as normal. I apologize. Again, I understand if you don't want to finish the walk and everything." Yeah, he's addressing Angel at this point, because that's the person who's primarily apologetic to, because he doesn't know who the rest of you guys are.
Alright, can I start jabbing him with my finger and be like, "This happened on your watch while your paladins were nowhere to be seen. I hope me and this team of hooligans is able to get payment for what we did today."
Roll me an intimidation.
God. I tell him,
I love him. I love how he's just being a dick. Like, he's playing his character out.
Yeah.
I mean,
fine.
You got a 9. Is that with your bonus?
yeah, with the bonus.
As soon as you go up and you try to start talking down to him, and you go and you poke him the first time, his head twitches a little bit, and one of the guards moves forward and with the hand that he's holding the halberd in, just kind of like solid punches you in the chest to make you get back, and then they act like nothing happened.
You think that stops me? I start coming back at him again?
Um,
I
still
think someone's about to get arrested.
go ahead and make me a dexterity check.
Do I just hit
Yeah.
dexterity?
No,
or
just
is it
hit-
saving
just
throw
hit dexterity.
modifiers?
Not a saving throw.
15.
19. So as soon as you start to reapproach him menacingly, the same exact guard goes ahead and jumps forward and wraps his arms around you to hold you still.
Okay.
And the constable who's there gives you a look of confusion, and then like kind of scoffs and like shakes his hand so that way you're taken away. And the unless you want to make an opposed strength check, the guy is going to like walk you like 10 feet over and just kind of like pin you to a house.
Yeah, I'll make a post
Alright, go
strength
ahead.
check. Why not? We've already come this far. Woohoo! That one.
oh wow.
So I guess 4 if I add it all up.
So he goes ahead and he grabs you by the collar after having like grabbed you like to throw you against the house, and like when he throws you against the house, you make like a really girly scream, and then he just kind of holds you there with one hand. If you guys have seen the movie Blank Man, just
Okay.
imagine him like being slapped around and called Sally like.
My guy's just gonna walk over, get his tanker, and chuckle. The tanker he put down before the fight, he's gonna get it, start sipping on it, and just chuckle a few
Alright.
times.
So, everybody's still here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
kind
so
of
the
bored.
yeah, you fucking
I'm just
stay.
hanging around.
Uh,
I'm fucking
so
hanging around.
the constable kind of like puts his hands together and motions that he's at the whim of the decision that Angel makes on what they're going to do moving forward, since he is officially responsible for the incident.
I've been trying to make the decision, but someone's been poking the
Right.
fucking guards.
I'm bringing you back on track here.
Thank you. I tell him I would be more than happy to finish my walk and bestowing my blessings on their festival.
Okay, he's gonna ask you real quick if you would like to do that still yet today, or if you would rather postpone it until tomorrow.
If we postpone it,
He
is there a certain reason we should postpone it?
in
till
case you
tomorrow?
happen to be too shaken up or anything like that. He also adds that he will personally ensure that him and all of the guards that are with him will be present to defend you should anything else happen.
I'm fine to continue today.
Okay. He calls one of the guards over and he whispers in his ear, and the guard like does a harumph and stomps his foot and then kind of walks away, and him and the 3 guards and the 4 guard that's over there, he tells you that he's going to go ahead and make the preparations, and that if you're okay, he's going to leave the other guards here with you while he goes and makes the official announcement that the thing is going to go back on after all the dead bodies are removed and some of the blood is cleaned up and everything. That it's also very unusual, but they'll be right on top of it, and within a couple of hours they should be ready to start back up again.
That's fine. I
Okay.
can wait.
Question. Are there any 2-story buildings, like, with balconies and shit, that I could get access to? At
Yeah,
when
you
this
can
walk
definitely get
happens?
like on top of the houses and stuff like that. They're easy enough to climb with the architecture the way that they are. They're not too tall. If you were to run up to the side of one of the buildings, and most of the windows they don't have like anything on them, or they just have like some wooden shutters just like in the stone. Most of the buildings are made out of like a packed sort of clay, and then the tops of them are just large timbers with more clay packed on top of them. So there's wooden beams that kind of come out of the tops of the buildings a little bit. So if you were to run and jump, you could jump, kick off the window, and then grab onto one of the beams and pull yourself up. Or you could knock on somebody's door and ask to use their stairs.
I'm just gonna knock on their door, ask to use their stairs when the walk happens, and then while it's happening, I'm just gonna be in my bird's eyes, watching
Okay.
everything.
Anybody else have anything that they're interested in doing? Do you guys want to continue going with this, or
Can I request that my little half dragon gets special care or something?
Oh, he
like
assures
that?
you he will have the best care. He'll be taken to there's nothing that they can do about the leg, but they can ensure
of
that he
course.
is given the best care while he's here, and then when he is healthy enough to travel, he'll be returned home safely to Hantro.
I'm happy to hear that.
The other half
Okay.
dragon gives you a mild bow and says that he's going to stay by your side throughout, and the cleric kind of gives like a cute little
Oh, adorable.
So they
I acknowledge that.
the 4 guards, including the one that has dragon pinned to the side of a building, along with the half dragon and the cleric, will be present for when you walk again.
Okay. Sounds good.
With this being a fairly natural stopping point, do you guys want to continue going for some more time, or anybody have prior convictions that they need to deal with?
I'm fine with stopping here. I think it's a good stopping
Okay.
point.
Okay.
One last time, does
Okay.
anybody want to check anything at all related to any of the men before they end up getting cleaned up and taken away?
Mm,
Can I cast detect magic?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
All right. There's no skill check or anything like that, right? You just check for magic that's around you.
Yeah.
That one actually, according to the canon of the world, does not cost anything to detect because you don't have to actually cast a spell. You can just sense it naturally, so don't spend mana on that.
Okay.
So that's essentially a free cast. So when you detect magic, in my world in particular, what ends up happening is that any spell that gets cast is a translation of godly power, and essentially what there is there's giant geometric shapes that appear invisibly within the world wherever a spell is cast, and you can read those geometric shapes, especially as a dragon, you understand most of them. You can read them to know what spell was cast and who did the casting. So when you use detect
Okay.
magic, essentially think of it like going back to Assassin's Creed, like the Templar vision. So you can see all of the symbols everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if I put up like a translation thing for your character, it would be like, this was the name of the spell, this is who cast it, stuff like that. With all of the spells that have been cast, the ones that you see the spells that the cleric cast for the healing and the damage. You see your own spells as well. Those are very apparent to you. And then you can also see the spells that the other half-dragon cast. And aside from that, unless I'm missing any spells that you guys cast in particular, you do not detect any other magic in this area.
Okay.
Well, he's gonna detect what I'm about to do. We'll say, like, before that happened. I'm gonna go inspect Badger's
Okay.
booth. Because it's already been cleaned up, and I'm gonna see that there's some odd shit. Like, I would know that she's into engineering and that type of shit, right? Like, she's a
Right.
tinkerer,
Yeah.
right? Just by
Yep.
seeing that.
Actually,
So,
hang on. Let me...
good.
Okay. The the crate of gunpowder that she had did not explode, which would have been hilarious had I thought of the fact that she definitely has gunpowder in her booth. But yeah, it wouldn't have blown up anyway. It was properly contained. So.
So I can see all this and tell she's
Yes,
a tinkerer.
it's very apparent. It's just she's
Okay.
got goggles on her head. She's got overalls and everything. She's got a wrench, even though like nuts and bolts don't exist anymore, just for some reason hanging off her hip.
I'm gonna throw a voice to her to tell her to go inspect that cannonball. Or that cannon.
Okay. Yeah.
And Angel would detect
Yeah.
that too,
Yeah.
right?
He would know that you cast that particular spell.
I don't think
That's
she would
only
realize
10 mana,
who
right?
that somebody was actually in her head, but she would just follow the voice.
Okay. So you're gonna go inspect it then.
Oof.
Okay.
Ow.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check then.
like how Ben's like, "Are you sure you don't want to investigate these people?" And everyone's like, "Okay, let me just go back for a double look."
I got an
I don't want to
18.
make it like hard on you guys, but I don't want it to be like, oh yes, he's carrying orders signed by X person that tells them to do this and then meet them at X location. Like I would like this to be more realistic. And luckily, with an 18, Mal, upon checking the canon, knows its origin and approximately what grade of gunpowder was used in it. The cannon, you end up finding out, is made from a very high quality metal. It's it's better craftsmanship, like better contained. It can handle a higher load than the majority of cannons, which are actually not that common in the world. And the gunpowder itself is also a mixture that is designed to be highly explosive as well, which is it's actually got more outward acceleration per like amount than the stuff that you use in yours, because yours is a fairly low accelerant for the stuff that you like to invent. Less so made for like firearms and stuff like that, which kind of exist a little bit, and more so for like utility, like movement of objects in a meaningful manner. So looking at the cannon, you know that it is of a high quality, and the munitions was high quality as well. So regardless of the fact that these guys seem to be just kind of like an in-group of people just within the city, whoever funded the cannon specifically was
Seems
very
like-
wealthy.
Yeah, seems like they're a bigger plan.
My character's just gonna walk over and just be like, "It's a pretty cool toy, huh?"
Well, you don't know shit about it, but yeah, it's a cool toy.
Yes.
No, I was saying that to Badger.
I know, but I'm just saying your character, having investigated, your character doesn't know that about the cannon. But it's like as a
Oh,
cannon,
no,
it's a cool
no.
toy.
I was just saying that to her just to see if she would
Oh.
reveal any information. But she doesn't know that I'm trying to see if she would reveal any information.
Yes. Cool toy.
My meta is that
Yes,
she doesn't
it's an
see my
amazing
meta.
toy. It's good enough where I wanna take it back with me and look at it some more.
There you go.
So what's your name?
Emberly. Who are you?
Grace.
You a visitor for the festival?
Grace. I wander around. I've got jobs here and there.
Well, welcome to Mountain's End, correct? Is that where it's taking place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome to Mountain's End. If I can
Yeah.
be your guide, let me know. And then she walks away.
Okay.
Okay. Tugging the kingdom with
Alright. Dragon also begins sweet talking the guard that's pinning him, calling him daddy.
Oh my god.
Let's see, what do I got here? Did I use performance on that?
If you wanna give it more of like a Shakespearean effort, I'll let you roll performance if you would prefer. But otherwise, that would just be a charisma check.
I'm over here like, Romeo, oh Romeo, can't you let me down, Romeo?
Visored knight, oh visored knight.
I'm just suspended in the air saying, ooh, is that your bonji woji?
Did you want to roll me a check for that, or did you just want to say it?
I just wanted to say it.
He's not paying any attention to you. He's like, he's
Oh,
looking
of
at the
course.
ground and like just playing with a pebble with his foot, just kind of like kicking it back and forth. Like you can't see his face, but you have no idea if he's just ignoring you or if he's actually blushing under there. So you like to think that he's smitten.
Can I use maybe a little bit of sleight of hand to give him a little wink?
A wank or a wink?
Oh
A
my
wink?
God.
You don't have to use sleight of hand to give him a.
Oh, wait.
You don't have to use sleight of hand to
No,
give him a
I'm
wink.
gonna
You can
go.
just wink at him.
Okay. He's looking down. I mean, he won't see it, but
He clears his throat.
okay.
Anybody else doing anything before we end off?
I'm just picturing her trying to tug that cannon back to herself, though. With her,
I mean, you're 2 booths
she's
away.
really little.
It was a
It's
wheeled
just-
cart, right?
Yeah, it's got
True.
wheels. Yeah, but it's 2 booths away, and since they were the ones that were in charge of that booth, if you want, you've basically got 2 booths now at this point. One of the knights is going to question you on it in particular, on why you're messing with it. What up, Brandon? Are you messaging me?
You're ignoring me?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm not. No, she doesn't. She doesn't. No. Sorry, guys. I'm getting tired. But she's like,
Yeah.
I just want to know more about it. I want to know what this specific thing is made out of, and how they made it, and how
Dragon,
they
would you
use it. I want to know
would you
everything about it.
consider the guard your ally, or is he just kind of just a person?
So far I haven't really seen him in action, so I would say he's just a
Okay.
person. Who's,
Also, still debating
smitten
on whether or
with
not
the blow, of course.
somebody is allowed to use spells multiple times in between stuff. Yeah, the guard is going to ask you guys to politely vacate the booth without taking the cannon with you, because it will be evidence in case an investigation actually does need to be done.
No, she gets really sad.
oh, sadness.
But
Okay.
walks away, taking
Can I,
a little bit of the powder residue with her. She reaches in and grabs some.
Okay. I'm gonna say you
Casually
probably
walks
already
away.
did that to begin with. I'll make you run a sleight of hand, because it doesn't
Yes.
seem suspicious that you're just curious about it to begin with.
Can I go shed a few tears for the booth that was lit on fire, because it was made of wood and I'm from the forest, and watching wood burn is very sad. for me.
Angel, do you go back with the guards back to your room, or what exactly do you do?
Yeah, I was just gonna go back with the guards.
Okay,
to
so
make
they'll
order.
follow you. When you leave, both the guard that asked them to stay away from the booth and the guard that was holding Dragon, they go ahead and they retreat as well. So all of them follow you, with the half dragon and the cleric.
Can I cat call after them after I watch them all
Yeah.
go together? You know, one of those whistles.
A wolf whistle.
I don't know. I can't do a whistle like that. No, like when construction workers see a hot girl go by, like one of those whistles.
No. Sure. Like as they're walking away, you think about the fact that you're gonna try to whistle to them, and you don't. You just don't feel like it anymore. You go ahead and you walk away. You walk the other way.
So that answered my question. Yeah, sure you can. No.
There's a reason for it. Just I'm not trying to railroad you. There's a reason.
Oh,
You just
okay.
you suddenly for some reason you just don't feel like catcalling anymore, and you walk away.
Alright. It must have been my imagination.
So yeah, there's we're gonna have the 2 hour like pause in between. Canonically, if anybody wants to go ahead and take a short rest during, so that way your characters, because Mal's the only person that's taken any damage, and you guys had your spells based off of mana anyway, so just go ahead and short rest. We'll have everybody back up to full for the next session that'll take place 2 hours then, unless you guys had something last that you wanted to close on.
My
I'm
guy's
fine with
just
taking a
gonna,
short rest.
my guy's just gonna
keep
go
selling.
back to the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep selling
Okay.
potions.
My girl's just gonna be in her booth, seeing what she has left, and experimenting with that dust.
Not much of your stuff is damaged at all. Just there's a little bit of some singeing on the wood, and the cloth that was on top of your booth is all burned up. But aside from that, everything else is fine. Nothing's damaged.
Okay. So then she's gonna be. So she'll probably end up moving or trying to get another booth and moving
Everybody
all her
else
stuff.
good then?
Yeah.
I assume like when the walk happens again, you remember what I said I was gonna do during the walk, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yo, keep,
Well, I assume when this happens, it's gonna be a
go
good
ahead and
announcement.
make a note of that to remind me of it next time we play, because I don't know if that's going to be like a few days from now or like a week. So
Okay.
Okay.
For tomorrow.
I think that was a great first session. I'm wrapping
Yes.
up there. My character is asleep. There's nothing more he can do. Good session, first session, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question: does my hawk regain its mana too? Like the uses of the vision?
I mean, technically,
Because it's still a day, so he wouldn't
No,
really
he wouldn't.
get that back, would he? Until the end. Okay. So it's just me that recovers, right?
Oops.
I mean, I wouldn't say that a short rest would have to recover you of your mana anyway, but it's you guys only cast like one spell anyway, so I have to create a rule for how much mana you're able to recover.
Alright, but for the sake of this, are we just gonna
Yeah, we'll say everything.
full,
We'll say
or-
everything's
I
at
mean, I
full,
barely
because
used
Mal
it.
took 2 damage, you cast 1 spell,
Okay.
Angel only cast like 2. Yeah, we'll say that everybody's back up to full for everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just close all 12 of my tabs.